be graphs of secant and cosecant functions. So remember, cosecant is 1 over sine, and then secant is 1 over cosine. The period, to find the period, we have it right over here. It's the same as how to find the period of sine and cosine functions. So this is 2 pi over b. So though I think the only one that's different would just be a tangent and a cotangent, which is pi over b. So let's take a look at the chart. So for cosecant, we can use 0 always. We can use pi over 6. We can use pi over 2. We can use 5 pi over 6. Yeah. And then, of course, same thing for the second column. And then for tangent, for secant, we can use 0. We can use pi over 3, pi over 2, 2 pi over 3. Again, I'm skipping all the ones that are square root. So for radical 2, radical 3, I'm skipping all of those because we're going to be graphing by hand. And without the use of calculator, it would be harder for us to solve square root of 3 over 2 times something. All right, let's start. So sketch the graph of the function y equals 1.5 cosecant. So we're gonna look at the cosecant values in the chart. And then we have 2x inside, and then identify the period, the phase shift of the graph. All right, so this is our A, this is our B, H is 0, so there's no phase shift, and then K is 0 as well. So A is 1.5, and then B is 2. So 2 pi over B is 2 pi over 2, cancel. So our period is a pi, so one cycle is pi. And then phase shift would be none. And then no vertical shift either. All right, so let's start this value. So I got these ones from the chart or from the unit circle. And then our angle relationship, forgot that. Angle relationship, we take 2x, which is inside the parenthesis, divide by 2. So x is, so every pi radian will be divided by 2. So we have 0 divided by 2 is 0. Pi over 6 divided by 2 is pi over 12. So the way we get that is, let's just solve that right over here. So I'm going to solve that here. So pi over 6 divided by 2, that means pi over 6 times 1/2. So that is pi over 12. So that's how I got pi over 12. And then again, I got pi over 2 divided by 2. That means pi over 2 times 1/2. I will get pi over 4. So please, you can pause the video for now and then divide each of this by 2 or multiply each of this by 1/2 to get all of these red numbers. Yeah? Ignore the purple for now. I will explain what that means. And then these values are, if I look at 0, if I look at 0 radian in the chart or in the unit circle, I have a 1 over, yeah, for cosecant, we have 1 over sine. And so that's 1 over the y value. So this is undefined. So for the chart, just look at the chart so it's easier. And I got all of these numbers. Okay. If you notice, there's, of course, this is the top column. Or the top row, sorry, the top row are positive, and then the bottom row are negative because that's gonna come from the third and the fourth quadrant. Okay, and then our A value is 1.5, so I just multiply each of these values by 1.5. All righty. And then let's put it in the graph. I will have, because I have, it's a pi over 6 on here. So I got same thing as the previous graphs. This is 1, make it bigger. This is 1 pi over 6, 2 pi over 6, 3 pi over 6, 4 pi over 6, 5 pi over 6, 6 pi over 6, or 1 pi, 7 pi over 6, 8, 9 pi over 6, or 3 over 2, 10 pi over 6, 11 pi over 6, 12 pi over 6, or 2 pi. Okay, so all I really need to know is how to graph one one cycle, and then the rest will just be just like a reflection. Yeah, we just mirror them. All right, so pi over 12 is going to be, since this one is in pi over 6, 2 pi over 6, I'm going to convert 1 over 12 into something over 6. So 1 over 12 would be divide 1 divided by 2, 12 divided by 2, that's 0.5 over 6. So 1 over 12, you'll find it at 0.5 pi over 6. So where that is right over here. So this is 0.5. So 0.5 is where pi over 12 is, and then the y value of it is 3. So that's this one right over here. Followed by pi over 4, which is again, I converted pi over 4. I don't have it here. So I converted pi over 4. Let's do that. So pi over 4 times by 3. That's 3 pi over 12 divided by 2 on top and bottom. So 3 divided by 2 is 1.5. And then 12 divided by 2 is 6. So this 1/4 pi is going to be at 1.5. So x is 1.5, y is also 1.5. So if the x is 1.5, this is the x, and the y value is also 1.5, which is this one. And again, this one is the undefined. This is the vertical asymptote at 0, 0. It's right over here. Yeah, for 0, we have a vertical asymptote where x is equal to 0. And then we have 5 pi over 12. Again, converted that one into something over 6. That's 2.5 over 6 has a y value of 3. So this is right over here. So this whole entire thing is this 3 over here. And then I'm going to go pi over 2. So pi over 2 is 3 pi over 6. So 1, 2, 3. So pi over 2 has a vertical asymptote, which is this one. And then followed by 7 pi over 12, which is at 3.5. And so I'm going to do, if I count from here, 1, 2, 3. So 3.5 is -3. And then followed by 4.5, which is -1.5. And then 11 over 12 is 5.5. It's right over here. It has a y value of -3. So this is this one. And again, it just keeps repeating. And then I have another asymptote. And then this one, it repeats over here. And this one repeats on this section. It also repeats this one, gets repeated over here, and then so on and so forth to the left side. And then it keeps going, same thing to the left, and it keeps going, same thing to the right. Yeah. And that's it for example number 1. Let's do example number 2. Example number 2 is secant. Yeah. So look at the chart. And I found all of these values for secant. These are the ones with nice values. So let's identify. This one is our A. That's our B. And then we're going to do our H later, and then K is 0. So let's do our period. Period is 2 pi over B. So 2 pi over 2. So that is, our period is pi. And then our phase shift is going to be 2x minus pi equals 0. This is the H value, yeah? 0. Oh, sorry. 2x equals a pi divided by 2. X is equal to pi over 2. So H is pi over 2, meaning our phase shift is pi over 2 to the right. Yeah? So our graph technically starts at pi over 2 to the right, yeah, to the right of the y-axis. So we're going to take a look at that one later. And then let's have our angle relationship, which is taking 2x minus pi. I might don't have a space in there. Just angle 2x minus pi, their angle. So 2x plus pi, divide that by 2. So we have our angle divided by 2 plus pi over 2. So let's take a look. All of these values are coming from the unit circle or the chart. And then I will take that number, divide it by 2, and then add by pi over 2. And I will get pi over 2. I'll take this, I'll divide it by 2, and then I'll add pi over 2. I'll take each of these, divide it by 2, and add 1/2 to it, or add pi over 2. So let's take a look at one example. So let's do that. So pi over 3 divided by 2 means pi over 3 times 1/2. So that's pi over 6 plus pi over 2, or plus 1/2. So of course we cannot add it because they don't have the same denominator. So multiply this by 3, that's 3 pi over 6. That's 4 pi over 6, or divide both by 2, keep reducing. So that's 2 pi over 3. So that's how I got 2 pi over 3. So I did the same thing over and over to get all of these numbers. So please stop the video, pause the video, and then do it on your own to figure out how to get each of these numbers. And again, the purple signifies that we're converting 3/4 into something over 6. So this is the work which I've already shown you on the previous video as well. Again, there are many ways to do that. If you want to use this, then you can. If you want to use something else, that's up to you. Because you can, again, you can use 3/4 equals something over 6. And so you just cross multiply that, 18 equals 4x divided by 4. So 18 divided by 4 will give you the same exact number. Yeah, and then same thing for 5 over 4. I don't have to convert these because these ones are already in my table. Oh, sorry, in the x-axis. And then this one also, and this one. And all of the ones that doesn't have a purple. So let's do this. Remember, our graph has a phase shift of pi over 2 to the right. So pi over 2, our graph starts right over here. Yeah, so our graph starts here. So let's take a look at pi over 2. So for pi over 2, I have a negative 3/4. So again, for pi over 2, we have a negative 3/4. So let me make that bigger. So pi over 2 is 3/6 pi. So 1, 2, 1, 2 over here, and then 3. So we have pi over 2. Yep. And then pi over 2 is negative 0.75. So that's approximately right on this section. And then we have 2/3 pi. And 2/3 pi is also at 4/6 pi. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 4/6 or 2/3. And that is a negative. So these two are coming from the table. Yep. And I will talk to you about that one after. So this one and then this one is coming from the table. And then we have 3/4 pi, 4.5 as our vertical asymptote. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5, our vertical asymptote right over here. And then we have next one, we have pi over 6, which is 3/2. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/6 right over here, which is negative, it's positive 1.5, and then a pi, which 0.75, and then 7/6 pi has a 1.5 to connect the points, and then a vertical asymptote at 5 pi over 4, and 5 pi over 4 is at 7.5. So once I figured out this, these over here is just the same as that one. This one is the same as that one, right? And then they just follow to the right. To the right side, it's the same thing. And then it also to the left, it's the same thing. So if you figure out the pattern, so let's take a look at the pattern. So if I have a vertical asymptote, okay, let's do pi. So if I have a vertical asymptote over here, yeah, because this one is given in the table. From here all the way to the right, I just use the table. But from here all the way to the left, I use the pattern. Yeah, so I just technically look at after the vertical asymptote, I have a dot at 1.5. So before the vertical asymptote, I have a dot at the negative 1.5, right? So it technically has the same pattern to the right and same pattern to the left. So I'm hoping you're able to figure that out. If you have any questions, please let me know. And again, I got these numbers from the chart or from the unit circle. Um, and then I multiplied each of these numbers by negative 3/4 or negative 0.75 to get all of these numbers. And I'm hoping you're able to figure out the graph. If you have any question, don't hesitate to let me know. Thank you.